All right, we are live and ready to go. We have a special guest. Now, this is not usually how we do. Usually, you're seeing George on the screen, and he does his run out, but that's not what we got going today. George is at an event. He's getting paid by the Cowboys to be somewhere. So you get me and you get Coach Stretch Smith. Coach, will you kind of introduce yourself and tell everybody kind of what your background is, where you've been coaching at, what you've done for the Cowboys, and what your expertise is?
I was very fortunate. I started coming out of school, being a graduate assistant 1 year at the University of Oklahoma. We won the national championship my second year at Oklahoma. My third year, we had the issues, and Coach Switzer had resigned. I stayed a year with Gary Gibbs and then went to Northern Illinois for 4 years. So I have a wishbone slash option background. I coached the tight ends. I went to Northern Illinois and was very fortunate after being there 4 years in 1994 to have Coach Switzer get the job with the Cowboys. I hooked on with the Cowboys for 10 years. Coached I initially went in as a quality control guy, then coached the tight ends and the special teams, the Cowboys, which is obviously where I met your dad when we picked him up. And that's the relationship that we have. Since then, I've coached 2 years. I coached 2 years, the initial 2 years of the USFL, and now I'm a current NFL analyst and radio show guy for ESPN and ABC here in the Metroplex.
Well, that's awesome. We are glad to have you. And unfortunately for our listeners, they missed a little bit of the football that we were talking beforehand. Now, I do want to give our viewers a bit of a disclaimer here, because I don't know that you watched the game live, and I was not able to because I had a game that I was supposed to be coaching myself, and the rest of the coaching, some of our injured players were very distracted by the way this game was going, especially on the bus on the way to the game. I think I saw a chat from somebody saying that they're from Decatur, Alabama, and I was playing in Decatur, Texas. It was it was a long way away from where we were. So what we've done here is we've picked a few plays. I think I've got probably 19 from the offense, from Bama's offense. We've got 15 from the defensive perspective. And clearly, this didn't go the way that that Alabama wanted this to go. Right? We saw a lot of option from Vanderbilt, and as my dad and I were talking just about how you have to know in any given call who has the dive, who's got the quarterback, and who's got the pitch man. And at any point, if one of those breaks down, and somebody is not where they're supposed to be for dive, pitch, or quarterback, you're going to be in for a long day, and that kind of seems to be what happened here. So there's a few things that we wanted to talk about. We want to get into the film. We also want to kind of just talk ball. Coach Smith has been already been a wealth of knowledge breaking this down for us. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and roll the intro, and we'll get back into some film. All right. Well, let's start on the defensive side of the ball. This is what we have. I mean, this is essentially the unit that everybody's been talking about, and we need to kind of dive into what went wrong here. So we kind of were talking about this play from the beginning, and actually, I think I need to crop this a little bit better. Maybe not. We can see the back right here, so that's okay. But Coach, what are you seeing here from the outset?
Well, what I want to initially talk about is when you're playing an option football team, it's really all about numbers and angles. Now, do I think they were reading the dive, pulling the dive, and then reading the five technique and kicking the football like a true triple option team would do? I do not. I think they were probably looking at the sideline, getting a numbers perspective, and then going to attack what Alabama was doing defensively. You put up the first play here. I think it's very important that we talk to people about personnel, because when you see what Alabama was doing from a personnel standpoint, they were very sound in how they played and what their game plan was, which is initially here, this is what we would consider 11 personnel on the offense, 3 wide receivers with a tight end. 11 is at the top of the screen with the towel hanging out. He is the tight end. That is the strength of the formation into what would be considered the field. Correct. So as you look at that, this is a true nickel 42 look with, I would say, the nickel top and the tight end. That correct. It's the corner at the top, the strong safety, the free safety, and then the corner at the bottom. Correct. And then we've got 4 down linemen and 2 linebackers. This is a very base set. It is a very sound set with what Alabama is trying to do. Here's what Jerry Kill, who was the head coach at Minnesota, was the head coach at Northern Illinois. He came in with Gary Patterson to TCU. He won 2 years, he won 10 games at New Mexico State. I don't know if people understand how hard it is to win at New Mexico State, but if you can win there, you can win anywhere. And so he is a very good offensive mind with an understanding of how to run the football. And if you see and watch what Vanderbilt did and how they attacked the Alabama defense, it was really about running the option. It was about stretching the field from a width standpoint. That's what they like to do. You hear a lot of people say, well, we got to get vertical. We got to stretch them vertically. I think what Vanderbilt did in the football game was they stretched the field to the 53 and a half yards wide, and they made you play every inch of that. And so as we run this, you will see initially how Vanderbilt really was going to attack the Alabama defense. And I'm going to say this again. Structurally, this is a sound principle with how they're lining up. Now, does Alabama have better players than Vanderbilt? Yeah. They're going to say, Stretch, got better players than they do. Yes, they do. But here's the key is understanding the angles, JT, and you'll see as we run the option looks where the angles get to be a problem for the Alabama defense.
Yeah. So before we run the clip, I do want to ask you this about how you prepare, because, you know, when you're not seeing something like this every week, I mean, we've at John Paul, the high school that I coach at, we've had to play Prince of Peace. I think we played them once I think I've been there for 9 years now. So you come across these teams that are showing you option, and like you said, whether they're reading it or not, you may not know as the defense. But something that we did was we took the ball. We didn't give the scout offense the ball. We just had them reading. We had the defense reading their keys and saying, "You've got pitch man. You've got the back. It doesn't matter whether he has the ball or not. You always have to get there." But if your scout team can't particularly replicate this because it's not in their, I'm not saying they're not talented enough to do it, but you can't just show up and be an option team one day, right?
That's correct. You can't. That's correct. You can't just draw it on a card and say, okay, this is what I want you to do, which 9 times out of 10, that's what's done when you're running a scout team offense. You're drawing something on a card. You want the receiver to line up at the bottom of the numbers. You want the tight end here. You want the Z receiver there. You want them to run a 12 back to 10 curl. You want a high angle corner, whatever it is that you want. When you play an option football team, it's all about angles. And it's very hard to emulate the speed for which they're running the option. Now, keep in mind, This Vanderbilt quarterback traveled with Jerry Parvey. He traveled with Jerry Kill from New Mexico State. So he's very schooled in not only how to read the numbers, but how to and what they want to do. And I'll just give you an example right here, JT. Just stay with me right here. Go from the center, go from the Vanderbilt center, correct, and then count how many players we have, including that center right there. So we have 1, the right guard is 2, the right tackle is 3, the tight end is 4, and the wide receiver is 5. Okay, now if you look back to the field side of that football play, look how many defensive players you see Alabama have. Correct, 4 and now 5. So we are numbered right now all the way to that strong safety who's 10 yards deep, correct?
Right. Yeah. So you've got
so,
1 for 1. You know, you
correct.
can get everybody here.
That's correct. So now stay with me just a second. When you run the football, you're running to where you believe you have the best numbers. I don't give a rip if you're talking about junior high football, high school football, SEC football, NFL football. It's all about the numbers. And you'll see Alabama number up when they run the quarterback power and quarterback counter in a minute. But when you understand that to me, it's about numbers, and the defense is got to have the extra guy. So in this position right here, the only guy that can make the play is truly the strong safety, because we'll cut that backside 2 off, and we're numbered to the field. And so that's what I want people to understand is when you're watching football, the winning and losing of a football game comes up front. It comes with you being able to get numbers and get angles on those numbers. Now, that's the best I know how to describe the running game as you go to structure what you want to do schematically as an offense.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's run this clip, and let's talk and see what happens. So we have a note here from my dad asking who has the pitch man. And as I was saying before, this is something that we have to be sound with as a defense. Now they're actually going to go the other way here.
Correct. Now still it up for me right here. Let's go back right off the bat here, JT. Let's go back on this. Let's go back. All right. Now then, here is what they're doing. They're going to run this back to the nub, which I don't think this is the best of scenarios to run to, because in fact, your left guard and your left tackle are going to double down on that 3 technique. And you watch them, they're going to wash him down in there. Now you can say, well, that 3 technique got killed. Not necessarily. That's a tough block to play. But you watch then Alabama absolutely gets numbered with how they run. Now bring this out to about 5 steps for me and watch the left guard and the left tackle double. You see that. Run it back one more time for me, JT, just one more time. All right, right there. And I want you to put your pencil on the left guard and the left tackle who are doubling that 3 technique down. Correct. Washing him down there. Now, guess who has pitch? Right there. That defensive end. No, this defensive end right here on the line of scrimmage. He sees his block go away. Look at his eyes. He's on the quarterback. Now, guess who? Correct. Guess who has the pitch man? Right behind him. Now you can say, okay, if he steps to crack him, now it's the free safety running the alley.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So defensively, we have good numbers here because we're matched on the quarterback, and we have 2 for your running back. You only have 1 to block. They'll stock block with the outside guy on this corner, but in fact, you're numbered correctly here. And that's why this play, in my mind, was good by the Alabama defense. But when you see how fast it comes at you, watch Parvey run downhill and eliminate the pitch key right now. Go ahead and run that if you would. There, we're numbered. Now everybody's numbered. Now look at the angle that he's taken for the quarterback. Come on, once you see him come outside, you have to be flying upfield with your hair on fire. Correct. Putting your helmet on his upfield knee, and we are numbered there, along with a backer on the backside who's chasing. Correct. We're absolutely numbered there. Great job by the Alabama defense. That answers your question to who has the pitch key. Is he a little late getting there? Yes. One more time. Look at the speed of the game. Come on, bud. Come on. Come on and get flat so that quarterback doesn't get that 4 yards. But you'll take that all day if you're when you think about how you're numbered. Now watch how they double. Watch how Vanderbilt dumbles that 3 technique all the way down. Right there. You see that? You see this double team right here? Bam. One more time, JT. Let's see this one more time from the start. Good. That 3 gets doubled down in there hard, but they do a great job. He's just got to play that, and that's tough. That is a tough job right there to play that. But Alabama's defensive end comes, squeezes. Now he's just got to go make the play right there. Nothing wrong with that play from what Alabama's doing. Okay, now they're going to motion back, and that's the tight end. So now, JT, when we look at this, the tight end is 11 on the ball. To me, this is what we would call a true 12 personnel, 44 being a fullback. We got a tailback in the game and 2 receivers. Now, think about the numbers with what they're wanting to do in Vanderbilt, and let's see the play run here. Okay, they're going to run lead with the fullback. They're going to try to, one more time, they're running a little bit of a power lead because they're going to pull that guard, try to kick that defensive end out. Right now, they've got it numbered here. One more time, JT. Now, you're going to have to help me with your pencil here. Watch how they kick out the defensive end, and watch how 44 leads up on the linebacker. You're numbered to the safety there. Watch how they run this. Pretty good job here. Now, fullback's going up. We're going to kick out with that guard right there on him. There you go. Now, kick out with that guard. There you go. Now, correct. All the way to him, we're blocked. Let's see how they get it done. There it is. Now then, one more time. Now, this is where I can tell you this is, and I can tell you your dad would lose his mind at this. This is big boy football right here. This is you on that back. You better come downhill right now with your ass on fire to take on that back. Because look how he's starting 9 yards back.
Yeah, I mean, this is really my dad's favorite play right here. This is old-fashioned counter just out of pistol strong instead of an eye, right? You're going to get that guard pulling. You're going to have a lead blocker. And like you said, it's big boy football, and he's going to lower his shoulder and run right through your chest.
Right. Now that, to me, that's the Alabama safety. You know what? We got to come get some of that. I get it. You're a little sore from playing Georgia last week. I got it. But you know what? In this position, you got to come downhill because you are the guy to make the play. They have the numbers here, and you've got to come make that play right there. 11, I guess since that could be the linebacker.
Yeah, he's the linebacker.
Okay, fine. Then he's got to come play that with more thud than that right there.
Absolutely.
Come downhill and make the play.
Yeah,
You're
you see
there,
ISO.
right there. Correct. And run that back one more time. You see that. 11 should be right off of that one more time. He should be attacking right off of that. And they're running one more time, JT. They're running a little stunt here. Watch them stunt. They're going to stunt that 7 technique back inside. You see that right here? 40. Watch him stunt inside. Okay, now 11 has got to come right, in order to be gap sound, right off his ass, right into that hole right there, and you'd make the play. Watch how he's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, this is, frankly, he's kind of lazy.
Yeah, he's hesitant. He's hesitant to what he sees. And I get it. One more time, run it back. Is he looking at the quarterback kind of pull out of there and boot out of there, maybe. But at the end of the day, you got to come make that play. That's your responsibility to come downhill and get that.
I need to get past these. There we go.
Right there. There he is. He's got it. It's you and him. You and him. That's it. You don't get a better situation than that. And then he drives you into the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good play by that back. And guess what? Those guys are on scholarship too. They give scholarships away at Vanderbilt. All right, let's look at one more here, and we'll look at this. To me, I call this we always call this crunch. We're going to bring that tight end across the formation and crunch him into that defensive end right there. Whoo, that defensive end. Come on, buddy. I like how he comes to wrong arm that, but now again.
You got to show up with bad intentions, right? I mean, he
JT. Let me tell you, you're either the nail or the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Now you tell me right there what the Alabama defensive end was.
Oh, he was definitely a nail here.
Exactly
I mean,
right.
he
gets thudded, but they're still in good position. One more time, watch the Bama linebacker come. He comes and fits in the hole. Come up right there. Come fit in that hole and make that play. You're numbered up. Okay, it's a 5-yard gain. We have to have better than that. That's him right there. It's either 0. Is that 0 or 8? I don't want to start
0.
calling. I don't want to
start.
I don't want to start calling names, because guess what? Right there, when he sees that, one more time, JT. When he sees that guard and that tackle go down, that ought to be his read key right now.
Yeah,
he ought to be blowing up in there.
And as when I was going through this, something that I noticed too, and my dad noticed the same thing, is it's a good thing that this tackle didn't actually just work up to the linebacker here, because if you get this down block and he just works to the linebacker right now, and you have this wham coming across, imagine just for a second that he doesn't get lost and trying to figure out who to block and how this ends up happening.
My point is, even if he does come down and the linebacker is late getting there, but run it back one more time. Even if he does what he does, you should be ripping right through his outside armpit and blowing right in there. Because look where 3 is. 3's bringing the wood with you. Right. Now, your gap sound right there, correct?
Yep.
Your gap sound with 3 coming downhill. They read this right. Come on, linebacker. Come on, buddy. There it is. Oh, again, what I don't like doing is saying, well, the coaches didn't do a good job. You know what? He's there to make a play. At some point, you got to
do it, right?
Play.
Your defense coordinator can't make the play for you. You still have to read your gaps, get in there, and be physical and make a tackle.
One thing I want to show, JT, before we go offensively is, if we could, and I think this is the play here. Let's let this run real quick offensively. I want to show how they schemed Alabama. Here we go. How they schemed Alabama with this option. Now, I want you to watch this initially. Run this back for me, if you would, from the very beginning. Very beginning. Okay, good. Just still it a second for me. If you're on the sideline and you're the graduate assistant, and you look out there and you hear it's 11 personnel, that's what's in the game. 11 personnel is 1 tight end. JT circled him with a towel on his butt, off the ball in the wing.
Okay, let me find my circle right here.
Correct. And a running back.
Running back right here.
Good. And now we see the 3 wide receivers. Calling this 11 personnel. Now, when you see how Vanderbilt schemed this, again, let's go back and talk numbers. We got a shot of the moon.
Nope.
Let's talk numbers. Let's talk numbers here with what's to the field, which is you've got the 4 to the left, which is where they're coming. You got the corner and the strong safety, correct? So you're 6 there. You should be correct. They get the 2-eye and the other linebacker that are back and one more. Correct. All right, we're 6 there. Now we should be numbered up here because guess they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But
1, 2,
if
3,
you got
4,
the
5
and the running back.
Well, and
correct.
Technically the quarterbacks, this is an option, right?
Now hang on with me. You've learned some football here. So yes, they're going to bring the slot in motion, and they're going to fake the lead to the back, running option left. The point I'm making is Alabama's numbered up and fine with how they're lined up. You can't say, well, Coach DeBoer, y'all didn't know what the hell you were doing on the defensive side of the ball because, in fact, you're numbered up. But watch how they bring that slot in motion and bring him back to run the option to the left. And now let's let it run.
Okay, let me get these here. Here we go.
Good. There you go. Now still it right there for me. Now, pretty good job here by Alabama defensively. Let's see what the defensive end does. He's got to crash down. We're going to scrape the linebacker who's bubbled inside, JT, right off his rear end. And then we're bringing this other linebacker. We ought to be numbered to what's going on here. And guess what? They know they're numbered. So what happens? He hands the dive, correct?
Now, I think he keeps this one.
All right, let's see. He did keep it. Again, got smoked. 2-yard loss. Fine.
Yeah, he probably should have handed this one. He probably should have gave it.
Correct. And that's where I'm going to tell you. So what I'm telling you here is
because you've got this, this, and the guy that's got to make the tackle is.
So I'm going to go back to what I said earlier, JT. I don't believe that they're truly reading that. I think that's called. You with me?
Yeah, I see. Okay.
They're calling that. Because if he's reading that, that's look at his head.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't have. Head. Yeah, you should be able to look out here and be like, yeah, this ain't it.
You correct. And C2 and no, I got to give this football. That's why they're not reading it. You with me? This is not Oklahoma, Nebraska, Army, Navy. They're not truly reading that. And so, hey, is it schemed well? Hell yeah. Did Alabama get it done defensively? Absolutely. And that's what you got to – if you're a coaching staff, you lose a tough game like this, these are the plays you got to show your team, and you got to say, boys, we're still in the hunt for winning a national championship here. We got to play this style of sound defense for the rest of the year to put ourselves in position.
I agree. No, that's good. All right, so here right, so there you go. So the note here from my dad was he put excellent CBR. So for our fans, CBR stands for cutback, boot, and reverse. And why that's important, especially for backside defenders, is all of the motion may be looking like it's going this way. And if somebody pulls it and tries to leak out the backside and you take off running, you've run yourself out of the play. So there was some good done here, staying home and being able to.
Now they give it there. That's the same play.
Yeah, let's see if they should have. Yeah, because it's the same play.
Correct.
Yeah, it's the same play, and I think that would have been the right read.
Only difference, JT, is tight ends to the other side. Correct. They're going to fake this crunch. A while ago, he was down here to the left. Now they're going to fake this crunch. But again, Alabama's numbered. They're numbered with what they did. They handed the football. It's a 1-yard gain. We'll give them that all day long. But again, schematically, thinking about this schematically, Alabama's sound with what they're doing. A good teaching moment as we move forward. Because guess what? Whoever Alabama plays through the rest of this schedule, they'll be looking at this tape, and they'll be thinking, you know what? We might have an opportunity here. Because regardless of what you do in practice, and I think this is a point I used to make to my players all the time. In practice, you're drawing it in pencil because we can come back in a race and make some things happen. Game day, it's a Sharpie. It's out there.
Right.
It's like Google. It doesn't go away.
Yeah.
All right. So at the end of the day, defensively, I thought Alabama had an okay game plan, JT. And, you know, we can sit here and cut this up. I know you want to look at some offense, and I don't want to get too carried away here because I think I could go about 3 hours on this game tonight.
Well, Coach, we don't have to get into the South Carolina Ole Miss stuff right now. So we can.
All right.
We can spend the time however we want to.
Okay.
So another note from my dad here, him saying, me personally, I would move the free safety into the box and challenge the corners to play cover 0 against this offense, which is an interesting thought here. So essentially what he's saying is instead of having this safety, we'll call it 5, 10, we'll call it 15 yards off the ball. He would move this guy at least closer and just say, hey, you're locked up, you're locked up, you're locked up. Well, not him. The rest of these guys, we're going to be focused on this option and run game. And we're going to take your 4, match up with our 4, and play the opposite of 7-on-7, right? You're gonna have 7-on-7, but we're talking about inside run, outside run now instead of passing.
Let's see what this play is here.
This is just a speed option.
Okay, now all right, it is speed option. Okay, now what I like is the quarterback now, still it for me 1 second. JT, how many teams you think run speed option left with a back offset to the right?
I'm going to say not many.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, usually, this is you're looking at this set like this, and you're usually thinking, well, at least in general, not knowing who you're playing or not doing scout like that, you're thinking, okay, if you're going to get zone, it's going to come this way. If you're going to get counter, it's going to go that way. If you're going to get power or something, it's going to come this way. And if you're going to get speed option, we're going.
Correct. Or he's over here on the other side if we're going left.
Right.
Now, that's why I'm saying this is Jerry Kill putting a little wrinkle into the game. Because, again, let's go back to how we number up. And number up to this side, they're numbered up initially. Okay, now let's see. Watch it. Yeah, now watch how they run this. Watch. You should be, in theory, he's going to pitch this ball, and now the pitch key, circle him right there. Circle that end on that pitch. That's it. Uh-oh. We're outnumbered.
It's 1-on-2 now.
Correct.
Because these two are out here dealing with this.
That's right.
And your pitch man, the guy who's actually responsible for the pitch, is either on the other side of the field or 15 yards off the ball. Right.
So you have two choices here. Either that safety runs this alley, and I think this is what your dad was saying. You can still play cover 1 from about 7 yards. He was at about 12. Now, you put him right there at the bottom of that V, where that V comes together. Well, no, right.
Oh, you want inside.
That's right. Now I want him running that alley right off of that. Correct. There you go. Now we'd be numbered. But look how deep he is. And so that causes you initial problems. Number one, I don't think the quarterback does a great job of eliminating the pitch key there. But look who has to make the play all the way from the backside.
Yeah, he's on the backside hash. Like this
safety,
that's
safety,
far.
That's a long way. And that free safety should be right down here where that V comes together, and he should be blowing that angle. See how he's late getting there? Pretty well designed play there. That's where you got to say, hey, Vanderbilt, that was well designed. They run speed option to the left with the back offset to the right. Yeah, pretty damn good play.
Yeah, so we'll move on from this one here. All right, so this is 2nd and 10 into the first quarter. And now you've got what looks like a tight end and a wing on this
Two
side.
tight ends, correct? Correct. 12 personnel, right? 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 1 back.
There you go.
Bring the motion to get an extra guy blocking that corner out there, and we're going to run dive. Guess what? They don't have enough.
Right. So again, to your point, if they're actually reading this rather than calling it as you think, this is one where you pull this one.
Correct. Because look, if he does keep it, and we'll show Milrow run quarterback counter a little later. Look, if he keeps
you're
that
one-on-one
all the way, correct, all the way to him. That's right. That's why I'm telling you, I think this was called either from the huddle, from the sideline, waggled in after they saw the front, but there's no way he's reading that, or that's a keep.
All right, so this is beginning of the second quarter. It's 3rd and 8.
Same personnel, correct. 12, two tight ends. And they're going to run jet sweep to the 2 tight ends. Or did he keep
No,
it?
he pulled this
jet
one.
Sweep, okay? And he should have. Now they're numbered here, but guess what? You still, when you're looking at this, JT, go back to the start for me, and let's just look at this one play. Now, still it for me. All right, I would call this base defense. 4 down, 3 linebackers. We've got a corner over, strong safety down, free safety in the middle. We seeing that the same?
Yeah. 4 down.
Okay.
There's your strong is over here.
No, strong is at the top.
Right. Your nickel is over here. Your strong is at the top.
Just a minute. That's the free. Here's the strong outside the hash where the 2 tight ends are. No, that's
this is the corner. So they didn't actually flip here. They didn't move the corner.
Are you telling me it's not corners over?
Correct. It is not corners over. This is the nickel.
Well, they're not in there. I don't think they're nickel personnel. Just stay with me. If that's the case, then the free would be down on the slot. The strong would be in the middle of the field, and that's the corner at the top, correct?
Yes.
Okay. If you're saying it's not corners over, and I'll believe you here with a true. Okay.
I'm just trying to catch the number here.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is number 16, who plays what they call Husky, which is Saban's star.
Okay.
We have a true corner here, a true corner here, and then these are your 2 safeties.
So you're still telling me you believe this is a nickel 42 look?
Yes, this is their nickel 42 look, and they've rolled strong, I guess, depending on whether you're going to call. I mean, you got the 2 tight ends over here, so this is definitely the run strength.
Right, but that's the only reason that I would say, looking at this, not studying it, if they are in nickel personnel versus 12, maybe they shouldn't be. Maybe this should be standard personnel. The guy at the top should be the Sam, the Mike, and the Will. And anyway, it's how they chose to do it. And I've been with coaches at the end of the day say, well, it's just X's and O's. But to me, as an offensive guy, it's really not X's and O's. I want to know who those personnel guys are. But as you watch this play unfold, Alabama has got to come and downhill attack this exact scheme, especially if you've got 2 tight ends at the top. Let's run this.
Oh, got some stuff in the way here.
Because when he goes to widen, when he goes to widen, and that defensive end does the right thing. He doesn't know if he's got the ball or not. But the Mike linebacker or the second linebacker right there has to come downhill right now. Watch him get caught up with the guy. Right? We got to be more gap sound. So 0 and 11. Come on. What
yeah, you got look how much grass is over here.
Correct. So in a sense here, and again, we're just talking. I don't want to be critical of 0. He's got to take a better angle. Go back with your pen there and draw me a 45-degree angle where he's coming through the bottom of that V to come attack this quarterback. Right. Correct. That's where he's got to be.
Yep, and this goes back to what you said at the beginning. You have to take good angles. I mean, I don't know how many times I've said this to my football team just anyway. But yeah, I mean, if you take a bad angle, you run into a block and have to fight through it. I mean, yeah, you get a tackle, but this is
pretty well designed play right there. But Alabama's defense has got to be better with the angles. And again, think about how hard that is to practice. I'm sure they showed that to them during the week, but when you're not seeing it at that speed, that's exactly what happens. You take a bad angle and then you get caught. All right, let's see this here, JT. So we got, I don't know personnel-wise what's in the game here. This looks like, I don't know if the tight end is all the way outside at the top. That's 11 with the towel in his ass, isn't it, at the top?
No, you're talking about the Vanderbilt receiver?
Correct.
No, I think this is it's a single digit number. I can't tell if it's 6 or.
Okay, let's see here.
Let's see if I can run.
He doesn't look like a tight end.
Yeah, no, he's
not a tight end. Okay, so the tight end is down here at the bottom. Okay, 16 is the tight end at the bottom. Now, I don't know if this is 11 personnel in a full house, what I would consider a full house backfield with all receivers in the back or not. But
no, I think I whether or not they're receivers, I'm not sure. This one might be, but you definitely got one tight end. I mean, I guess you just call this 3 backs, not knowing who they are.
Right. But again, what I'm saying is, think about this: you're the defensive coordinator, and let's say they say there's one true running back, and the other 2 guys are receivers. The guy at the top's a receiver, and the guy at the bottom is the tight end. And guess what the initial call is? That's 11 personnel, which that's what it is probably. If I had to bet, I'd say it's 11 personnel.
You're saying something. Okay, so I gotta break this down here, because what you're getting at here is, if these guys, let me put circles around them. If these guys were actually 3 running backs, you're saying that from the sideline, you're getting 31 personnel and a new group of defenders are coming out onto the field. You may be taking DBs off.
100%.
You might be getting in Bear or something like that. But if these 2 guys are just receivers that just happen to be standing in the backfield now, you're stuck out here in your base package.
Yeah. Now, I want you to go back to the scoreboard and let's see down and distance here.
Okay, so it is second and 4.
2 and 4. 2 and 4. Okay, and now go back. I'm going to tell you, I believe this is 11 personnel. That's what I believe. That's just what I see. I think you got the 2 guys with the 3s, those 2 up backs, I believe are receivers. I believe it's a receiver at the top. Now here, let's think about what Alabama's doing defensively. 2 and goal from the 4. To me, this is the exact same defense that we have seen them
in the middle
play.
of the field.
To me, again, it's 11 personnel. So let's think about it. You don't have all kinds of time to sit around and scratch your ass and hold your yang. It's 11 personnel, and you got to make a call. All right, so now, to me, this is Alabama playing nickel 42. Draw the 4 down linemen, the 2 linebackers, and they've moved the safeties to the goal line. Correct.
Yeah, let me get my. So here you go. You've got your 4 down.
Correct.
Here's your two
right,
linebackers,
backers. Now give
and
me the
now
two
your
safeties. Right. And now the nickel down here.
Is that him? I can't tell who that is. I think this is the. No, it's him. He's the nickel right here.
Okay, fine. Still, you're in 42 personnel with 3 backs in the backfield. Now let's see. Let's see how they get. Let's see what Vanderbilt does here to number this. All right, they're going to run a little dive fake.
Yeah, it's QB follow here.
Yeah, but you're fine. But I can tell you right now, again, still it for me right at the very beginning.
Okay.
Right now you're good right there. Let it go just a minute. Right there, boy. If you're up in the box and you're one of Vanderbilt's coaches, you think you ain't got numbers here?
Oh yeah, I mean you should. Numbers. You got if you you kick him out.
It should be correct.
You're gonna get up to him, and you know he's not getting the ball, so there he goes.
Yeah. Correct. Walk-in touchdown, right? Should in theory, if you're now go back and stay with me here for just a second, and just let that run just for a minute. Now think about that. Run it back just a little bit more, just a couple more steps, JT. Good. All right, now we're the Vanderbilt coaching staff. We're seeing Thursday night as we put in our short yardage and goal line package before we talk about what we want to do. We're drawing this up on the board and we're saying, hey, if we play 11 personnel, put 2 backs in the backfield, look how we can number with what Alabama does. They're probably going to substitute in the nickel 42 look. You like your play right here when you put it in? Hell yeah, or you wouldn't have called it. So the point I'm making is that this is a perfectly designed play. Should be a walk-in touchdown, but they only get, 2.5 yards out of it? Let's let it run. Yeah. Pretty well designed by Alabama. Pretty well played. But when you see those numbers right there, yeah, if I'm the Alabama offensive coordinator, I'm going get the special teams ready. We're getting ready to kick it. And you're not. Because you got better athletes on Alabama. This is what I'm telling you. You take that and you say they schemed us as well as they could, and we still stopped the play. All right, let's see it. 3rd and goal here. Let's see what we got, JT. Let's take a look at the person. Let's see if we can see the personnel. I'm going to say, now, you said 9 you thought was a receiver.
Well, so in the comments here, Lando Calrissian says that he's a hybrid wide receiver tight end. Stowers, he's wearing number 9. So that's him. He's
all right.
Yeah, I guess that means you got to make a decision on whether he's
right. So what I'm thinking about more along the lines of that is I'm thinking about how Alabama substituted 3rd and goal from the 1.5. They've got 5 defensive linemen, I believe. Or do you think who's 20? What's that 20 number on the line?
This is 22. That? He's a defensive lineman. That's going to be Overton, I believe.
Okay, so they've substituted with a 5-2 package, correct?
Yeah, I think these are still linebackers. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 linebackers. Actually,
I think that's a backer there,
Coach. That might be might be one of their hybrid DN OLBs.
Right. So to me, you've only got 3 defensive backs in the game.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
I'm good there. So you see what they got. And if the guy that texted in is correct, I'll take his word for it. The call was you got 12 personnel in the game. 3rd and goal from the 2. Alabama substitutes with a 53 look. So as to say, hey, we're not going to get blown off the ball here. Now let's see what happens. They run the crunch to the fullback crunch to the backside and don't get it. 4th down.
What we got here? What do our notes say? Option teams like angles with blocking. Well, yep, there we go. We talked about that.
Yeah.
And they're leaving the end unblocked. So there you go.
All right. So is this 4th down here?
No, I think this is the same.
Okay.
I think this might be the same play. I might have run this back too far. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So here you go. So this is 3rd and 1.
All right. I was thinking that was 2nd. Okay. This is 3rd down and goal from the 1. One more time. Let's take a look at the personnel. Looks like here we got 3 tights in the game and 2 backs.
Yes. Yeah, you've got center, guard, tackle. This is probably a tackle, right. But
could be whatever.
Tight end.
Theory, he's a tight end,
right? And then you got another tight end and 2 backs.
And a fullback, correct. Alabama substitutes with 6.
Yep, they got 6.
6-2-2 gap. Okay, now 6-2-2 gap. Everybody in football plays 6-2-2 gap. That means the 2 inside guys. Circle them for me, JT. Those 2. That's right. 2-2 gap players. 6-2-2 gap. We're not gonna let this center get crap. We're gonna play into these gaps. You see them right there? 2 eyes. Can't get any more plain than that. 6-2, 2 gap. Perfect. All right. Now you know what they call this? Me versus you. This is your Shiva getter versus my Shiva getter right here.
Right. Yeah. And then you have, that's all it takes. One guy. Let me put the circle back on.
Now think about it. That fullback has 11 or 13. He's got to take one or the other. Mm-hmm. Now watch where they come into that gap. Alabama's sound right there. Come on. Good. Okay. 4th down, right? Pretty good play.
No, they end up scoring here.
Did they get
yes,
this in?
he gets in. And I'm gonna go back because you got one guy here who isn't low enough. Low man wins, right? And 65 gets his pads under 20, knocks him off the ball into the end zone.
Yeah, he's a little high. You're right. And 16 gets up to that. Yeah, I mean they're numbered right there. You can't get knocked off the football. Golly, that's close though. Golly, where's his knee down? He dives over. Okay, I still think it's the right call. It's the right play. You know what? It's your Shiva getter versus their Shiva getter. It's that simple. Damn shame they didn't keep him out of the end zone right there.
Let's see how many more we got left. We got about 4 plays left on the defense.
All right. Let's just let this run. Like it one more time, JT. Let's see that. Hey, they're going to run. They're going to run their quarterback. They're going to run their quarterback sweep with 2 coming out. Correct? Got the tight end receiver, just for numbers. Here comes the safety over the top. Alabama does a great job with leverage. Watch the linebacker. Watch the bubble backer down here. Watch him wrong arm this. Pop, outside leverage. Set the edge. Turn him back into the good guys. Good. Fine. The hell's wrong with that? I take that all day long.
I just noticed this is weird. Damani Jackson, who is the corner, is standing right here. That's right. Odd.
Let me see the end zone one time, JT. Let's see.
Yeah, so you're looking at the corner. out here.
Okay, you're in 12 personnel, right? Because again, 9 and
Oh yeah, well this guy, yeah, and
that's
it's you've got somewhat of
two
an
tight
unbalanced
ends.
set because he's the end man of the line of scrimmage. There's nobody outside of him.
Right, but again, just bring your cursor over here. You're 12 to the left. 2 tight ends, 9 and 12
Yeah.
are your tight.
Yep.
Okay, correct.
And then these are
So
those are your safeties there.
Now let me see. Let's go back to the wide one more time.
Okay.
Still it there. Now, why do you think? Let's go back to the very first comment I made. Why do you think Vanderbilt is attacking this to the right? Look how many players they got to the right.
Yeah, I mean you've got
3.
Yeah,
3.
it's these 3 on those 3.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
And then, I mean, if you run this straight up and you run the speed option, you're actually probably doing all right.
And here's the other thing. Go back to now. This is a regular down and distance, so we put this in Monday night. Pretty well designed play right here versus Alabama. I don't know what they're doing with the secondary, but I mean, when you got 3 back to this side, you're numbered big time. Now here comes 4, and they're bringing 5 with him. Uh-oh.
Yeah, you build a wall there.
Right there. Pretty good job by the Alabama defense. Because guess what? They're outnumbered over there. Big time.
All right, so this is to a 9. Okay, so my dad here is kind of talking about I'm going too far. So he's got we used to have a call. We called it a hammer and nail, coincidentally, about what we were talking about before. Of when you know you've got an option team, these 2, one of them is going to have to take the back, and the other one's going to have to take the quarterback. And what we end up getting is both guys on the same person, I believe, if I remember this clip correctly. Yeah, so you've got both guys on the dive. And the end is kind of I think he's out of control here.
Well, I mean, run it back one more time. I'm just going to tell you, I think he takes a bad angle.
Yeah, that too. I mean, he should.
Right there, I mean, if you're a football coach, and you have given him his assignment, and you have shown him this, and he does this, that's to me. That's perfectly designed for one more time, JT, for what should have been about a 4-yard loss. Perfectly designed. Come make the play. Make the play right there. You have your responsibility as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Holy cow. And you let him get outside. You're the one supposed to set the edge. You let him get outside for a 10-yard jaunt in the park.
Okay, so this one was for you. He says, stretch, remember this, roll, arrow, and curl.
Yeah, just a little bit. One more time. Here's what ticks me off more than anything. Run it back, JT, one more time. One more time from the very start. Now, the guy in motion is a damn undersized tight end. Are you telling me, if I'm coaching the defensive line, are you telling me that undersized tight end is going to pass block your defensive end? Are you crapping me? He should hit him right in the teeth and then go attack the quarterback. Go. It's good. Curl flat. I mean, how simple is that? Run it back one more time. 8 chases the flat. Watch the linebacker. As soon as he chases the flat, you throw it right off his ear into the curl window. Pretty well designed. Nothing wrong with that. That's a well-designed play. What I don't like is the defensive end not coming right up the field and hit you. There's no way you can let that tight end block you. No way. No way. And I don't want to be critical of him, and I don't even want to call his name. There's no way he blocks you. No way. That gives me the red ass right there, even watching that. Mm-hmm. All right, one more time here. Let's see how they get the numbers here, JT. Now they blocking out. Watch the center come back here, and they run this little dive. Woo. Pretty well designed right there. Again, all about angles, right? Look at the angles. Look at the left tackle, left guard. Boom. Oh, and Alabama stunts. One more time. They get them in a stunt right there.
Yeah. So they're sliding back the other way.
Yeah.
They're bringing the blitz.
Outside.
And then 11's going to replace.
Right. But here is this 8 coming out who's coming from the backside here? Who's the other linebacker right here next to the official?
0.
That's 0? Mm-hmm. Come on, bro. Come on. If we're going to run that stunt, you got to beat that. See how he's late? He's late through there. You got to come in there with your ass on fire. If we're going to run that stunt, they ran it right into the stunt, and sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear eats you.
Well, that said, we've spent an hour on the defense, which is not it's not a problem. However, we do have some bills to pay, so let's do those real quick. John O, this one's for you. I was supposed to let the people know that the reason
this is John
that you are here on screen wearing a Cowboys jersey is because you lost a bet Sunday night with George. Him being a Steelers fan, he bet that the Steelers were going to beat the Cowboys, and they didn't. So now he has to pay the bet with an ad wearing a Cowboys jersey.
This is John O, president of Titan, Texas. Titan, Texas is the North Texas chapter of the University of Alabama National Alumni Association, and we are proud to sponsor Teague's Take. The mission of Titan, Texas is to raise money for our 9 endowed scholarships and promote the University of Alabama in North Texas. We do this through various social, philanthropic, and educational events throughout the year. We invite you to follow us on social media at Titan, Texas, and our website, www.tidentexas.com. Roll Tide.
Thanks, John, and thanks Tide in Texas for sponsoring this video. And we've got one more ad to show you. Blackfriar Pub is the sponsor for us that allows us to get this film. So thank you to Blackfriar Pub, and here's what you can expect. All right. Once again, thank you, Blackfriar, for your support. This is Bama's home in Dallas. So if you are in Dallas and you are trying to watch the Bama game and you want to be around some of your alumni and other fans of the game, you should definitely show up to a Blackfriar Pub down in Dallas, the one on McKinney Ave. If you show up in Lakewood, you might be in for a rough time. You will probably be with an opposing SEC team. So make sure that you go to the one down in McKinney Ave. All right. Usually our show ends about right now, but we do have some more things to cover. So let's kind of speed through some of the things on Bama's offense. Maybe we won't go through all 22 clips, but we mentioned the QB power. So let's kind of show that. That is not it. I know which direction they were going. I don't remember what clip number it was, though. So bear with me while we find that. I think it's clip 28. Now that if I remember correctly, I think this is it right here. So before we were talking about the numbers, right? We've been talking about getting numbers to one side and then running at that to exploit that. So here we go, trying to count again. We've got the center. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And to the left of the center, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is even, which is not good for the defense. We're typically trying to get +1 with the defense. And if you're even, now you're relying on somebody to beat a one-on-one battle. And the offense is saying that you're probably not going to. And if you do, we can outrun you, right? Now,
100%. And what you like here is not only are we talking, JT, about numbers, but the thing we want is angles.
Mm-hmm.
We want angles on the numbers. We don't want guys just blocking a guy head up. If we got the right angle to where we can crash him down, we can kick him out, we can pin and we can pull. It's all about angles. Now, this is a absolute walk-in touchdown here, because of the angles. And watch the center. Watch the center play.
Right. So now we're talking about adding people, right?
Correct.
We had 5-on-5, but then we're going to take the center and we're going to bring him around, and then we're going to take the guard, and now we're going to get 6, right? And one of these two, I think it's the center, is going to get up on the safety. We've got this taken care of, and we have an extra dude that doesn't have anybody to block.
Correct. Still go right back to the beginning again for me, JT. Right there. Now look at your angles. Draw your angle with your guard blocking down. That's right. Now that's not right. Now the crack. Bring the crack to the second. Yeah. I mean, we've got angles. That doesn't get any better than that. Am I a fan of running the quarterback? No. But Alabama's down in a football game. They're looking for a shot in the arm, and they're saying, you know what? If they're going to line up this way, we'll block this and walk the quarterback in the end zone, and that's exactly what happens. I mean, there's one guy out there's got nobody to block. He just scratching and waiting on the Chick-fil-A sandwich at halftime. Perfect. Yeah. I mean, and getting better than that. So good for the Alabama offensive staff. Good for Milroe to walk that in. It's a good play. It happened at a good point in the football game. Alabama going to attack here vertically. Love it. Go back one more time for me, JT, and let's see it from the start. All right. Looks like they're playing some sort of cover 3. Look.
Mm-hmm.
But he could go either side here. Look at if he throws the ball at the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too. He's got his choice.
Whatever he wants. They're going and they're running 2 vertical with an underneath dig. We're still right there at the 50. Boom. Here's the point. If you're even as a receiver, you better be leaving, and the quarterback better be heaving. Even, leaving, heaving. Perfect. Boom, throws it, touchdown. He could have thrown that either side for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Agree? He could have gone to the right for a touchdown. They're playing cover 3. You close the cushion down. That's Alabama receivers running by somebody. And a 33-28 football game. Now you're right back in the football game. Now here we go again. We're going to run a deep over here. They're going to show you a 2 shell. Guess where the soft part of the defense is? Right there in the middle where they attack it. Right through that V. Perfect. Well-designed play. Good throw, good catch to the tight end. Well protected.
Yeah, and there's a clip on here somewhere where you don't get that protection.
One more time. Let's see this one more time. They're playing some kind of quarter, half. Quarter down here at the bottom, a half-field player at the top. He goes to the comeback at the top. It's a good read. Good. First down, 15 yards. 5-point ball game. Uh-oh. We're gonna run 4 vertical against cover 4. But here's what I like about down here. Look at that. Run this back, JT. Here's what I like. Now this receiver at the bottom, to me, that's what you call a flying die. You see how that corner's bailing? You're not going to get by him. Hey, just fly it and die it right here in the 20. They got to throw there? Absolutely they do. The top, he gets pushed out. Can't get ridden out of bounds up top on the 4 vertical.
No. And so want to look at 57 here because I was trying to figure out exactly what happened here with the right tackle. I don't know if I'm not.
Is he expecting that back to chip? It looks like he's heavy inside, expecting some help.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how.
But watch out! Look out! One more time. I mean, I'm going to tell you that I think he thinks he's getting some help there, because look how heavy he's sitting inside. I don't know if I put that on the back or not, but I sure would tell that back. But I need a little help out here. You need a chip. He gets hit. We get the quarterback hit and fumbled and turn the football over when we're moving the football in the game. It's a big play. They come back with the play action. Here it looks like 4 vertical again. Go up over the top. What's he doing at the top? Even, leaving, heaving.
Yeah, I mean he had both of these guys relatively early. Now I guess his read, he's looking left side first. Then he comes back.
Well, I'm saying running back. I'm saying the guy down here at the bottom probably sees the middle of the field. I think it's 4 vertical, but he sees the middle of the field. He sees the middle of the field open, so he's going to run through the V. See that there and hold that safety, and he does. Pretty good job there. Pretty well designed play. Big play in the football game. Get your team right back in. Did he make the play there? Absolutely. Hell of a catch. Good job playing the twist in the offensive line. Quarterback. All right, one more time. Let's look at the numbers here. JT, run it back for me. Now, still it right there. Talk to me about the numbers here.
Yeah, well, so not even counting sides, to me, I'm kind of like, look, anytime you have
I'm just saying,
5 in the box.
Correct.
When there's one guy standing in here.
No, that's a quarterback draw all day. You got extra guys.
And you got a lead, dude.
Yeah. Right. So I'm sure they check this 5-man box. They're scared of us going by them deep. Good call. 5-man box. Hey, lead up on him. Here we go. Oh, make the block, for crying out loud. But went up there and titty bumped him. Lee. If I was a running back coach, that right there I'd have dove out of the press box. 6-2-2 gap. 6-2-2 gap. Where should we run the football?
Outside.
One more time, JT. Yeah, absolutely. 6-2-2 gap. Hey, we'll just come off the ball and beat them with our speed to the corner. Good call. Good call on the quarterback draw. Good call here. Jet sweep versus 6-2-2 gap. We'll run it over the top and score.
Okay. So this right here, we want to get to these last 3. And so this is the moment in the game that we were discussing pre-show of, like, the defense has gotten to stop. You come out of halftime, you get a score. You're down 2 points. It is 23-21. Defense gets a stop.
Inside the 5. You're in 12 personnel.
Right. Okay. And this drive, you went 3 and out with lost yardage here. And we kind of want to figure out what goes wrong.
Well, number 1, run it back for me one more time. I wish you can see it there. Just still it for me right there. I mean, now count your box, JT.
If you're going to count these guys, yeah, you've got 1, 2, 3.
I'm not counting the guy on the right.
4.
I'm counting 7.
5, 6, 7. Okay, so you don't want this guy.
No, I don't want the other. I don't want the guy on the right.
Oh, you don't want this guy.
No. What we could stay set. Let's say you count whoever you want to count, wherever we're running the football. At the end of the day, it's a 7. We could say 7.5 man box.
Mm-hmm.
You got 7 to block them. This is absolutely what you want. Now, go get a hat on a hat. I got it. It's a true zero nose, and he's a heavy zero nose, too. Look how square his stance is. Ooh, this is what you want right there. Good job by the center. Good job by the right guard. Now run this back. 45, in my mind, 45's got to go second level right now. Why is he crapping around?
Is he stepping
with this
back?
guy?
Yeah, because he's got to chase this down from behind.
He's not gonna make the play. He's not the most dangerous. Circle the most dangerous up on the goalpost. Right there's the most dangerous. Circle, yeah. He's the most dangerous. And I don't know what the blocking scheme is, but if the tight end,
yeah, but if you're working,
and the
if
guard,
these two are working here,
correct. If they're stepping down, you got to step down, and you should step down and go right up that goalpost right there. That's the guy that ends up making a play, isn't it? Yeah. You got angles. And I get it. I mean, the nose is a good player, but you got number for number there. You're not killing the call. The call's not a bad call.
Okay, so here's the next play here.
2nd down and 9 from the 5. One more time, JT. Cover 2. Nickel 42. I mean, to me,
hole again. Right, you got the whole shot again, and you got
what's wrong with checking the football down to your back?
Yeah,
right
back. Yeah.
2nd down and 9 from the 5. How about just checking it down for a 1st down? Check the football down right there, Jalen. You don't have to hit a home run every time. Sometimes I'm good hitting a single. Watch the back. Watch the back leak out. He's looking. Okay, where am I at protection-wise? No linebackers come. Let me leak this down. Hello? Toss him the ball, please. I don't like the gamble there. You with me? I'm not on that gamble. 3rd down and 9. Especially not at this point in the game when your defense got a big stop. 3rd and 9 from the 5. Protection breaks down. He tries to scramble out, throws it deep, and he gets it. You get him or not? Got him. I'm fine with that. You break and contain. That's what Mahomes does all the time. Break out of there. Keep your eyes down the field. Make a throw. Oh, he's past the line of scrimmage. Is that why they brought this back?
Yeah, I think so.
Ball's on the 5. God, you got to know where you're at there. Oh, about the time I want to call him Pat Mahomes, he did something not Pat Mahomes.
Yep, he's crossed the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, killer. Did they bring it back? Ball's it's really short of the 5. Now his whole body's got to be over. Let's see if his whole body gets over here.
Yep.
Yeah, he throws the ball from damn near the 7-yard line. That's where now. Right there, Mahomes runs lateral down that 5-yard line and still makes that throw. Live and you learn. That's part of the game. Golly, and let me tell you, here's what I want to say at the end of the day. Razor thin margin for winning and losing. Think about that. That's a 50-yard play in the football game. Bam. 55-yard play in the football game. It's a big play. That's the difference in winning and losing, and that's what you're trying to show your team is, guys, we're that close. All things that went wrong in the football game, At the end of the day, we're that close. Pretty good job defensively. I thought they did a nice job at times, got out angled. That's going to happen when you play a team that is running so much what I would almost call a flying speed option. And you know what? You gotta live and you gotta learn from these situations. And hopefully Coach DeBoer takes this, teaches his team, and we move forward.
Yeah, very well put. Well, I know I saw something in the audience or in the chat about looking forward to seeing what we're going to get from South Carolina. I think we're going to have to do probably a recorded session on that. We are an hour 20 in, and we went through about 50. Well, I shouldn't even say 55 because we didn't actually go through all the offensive plays that we had here. So, Coach Smith, Stretch, I appreciate you joining us. I thought it was very good. I mean, I'm even learning things too, you know, because there's things that I'm not thinking about as a high school coach, right? Like the personnel changes don't happen at my level of football right now. You know, it's just I got my 11 best guys, you got your 11 best guys, and we're gonna get in different formations and things like that. And maybe they change out a quarterback or run some wildcat. But that's something that I'm going to remember forever is this full house that you're talking about, saying, hey, those are actually two receivers. And this is probably why you didn't get a personnel changed out here, because if they would actually run two backs into the game, that series may look a little bit different. So I appreciate that from you. And I hope that our audience has come away with some kind of new perspective and something they've learned today too.
Well, hey, at the end of the day, it's an 11-on-11 game, and you're trying to enlighten some folks with, you know what, the game is won up front, and you got to be able to match up front, and you got to be able to match up because the game, it really is. It's about the team that gets the better matchups winning. So, hey, I appreciate you having me on tonight, and tell George the next time I come on, it doesn't need to be during a loss. It needs to be during a win.
You know what? You know, I agree with you, you know, and I thought the film breakdown is excellent. So we're going to have to get in our text chat again and make this happen more often. Cause I think we all win. I'm learning things, chat's learning things, and I'm sure my dad's sitting in the Cowboys club watching us learning something too. So the two biggest takeaways. Oh, and thank you, John O, for being a good sport and wearing the Cowboys jersey, and also for the $10 in the super chat. That's awesome. We really appreciate it. And like I said, the two takeaways that I have was the personnel thing, and now I forgot John O's $10 has derailed what I was thinking about here. And then you bringing to the table that you don't actually think they were reading their option, that it was being called from the sideline, and then being able to show and point that out. I thought that was great. So we definitely got to have you on again. That's big time. That's big time. So,
well, thanks again, and you know, hopefully you bring a little energy and a little passion, because the game is about loving the game. It's about understanding what it takes to play the game. It's not for everybody. And you just try to enlighten folks to understanding that it is a tough game for tough people. And you got to have that certain amount of toughness to you. And I said, you're not going to hear me be critical of players, other than to say, in a challenging way, you're either the hammer or the nail, and you want to be the hammer more than the nail.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
All right. Man. Well, we're going to end this one. Thanks for all in the chat. Remember to like and subscribe. Catch us on the Bama Standard and also Teague's Take. Expect something, even if it's just from me, with the South Carolina Ole Miss tape, just to see what we're going to be doing this weekend, what we're going to be seeing. So thanks everybody, and we're out.